I was horrified last night. And we're going to get to the basketball here in a second. I got to tell you about the Ball Peanuts Award nominees. But I was horrified last night when Shaquille O'Neal thought it was a good idea to expose his nasty, dirty, crusty, mangy dogs to the world, his feet to the world. I was horrified, man. And it was crazy. We talked about Shaq and Barkley a lot yesterday, man. But I was horrified. I have never seen, you know what? My old man had bad feet. And I always talk great things about my old man. Love him to death. Miss him. Obviously, my old man's been gone for many, many years. But my old man had some real disgusting feet. Now, let him tell it. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Let him tell it. It was because he didn't have a lot when he was growing up. He had hand-me-downs, even though he was the oldest brother. I never figured that out. Maybe my old man wore hand-me-downs from his daddy. I don't know. He was the oldest son. And he always talked about how he had to wear hand-me-downs, and his shoes had holes in it, and they were always too tight, and whatever, and this, that, and the other. So my old man, I remember he had these horrible feet, and he used to soak them every other couple of days, and he used to take a razor blade. I know this is disgusting. He used to take a razor blade and cut off his bunions and his corns. And so his feet were horrible, and I remember that. He used to do that. He had this routine of trying to take care of his feet because they were absolutely horrible. They were crooked, and they had black toenails and all that. It was just horrible. And my brother actually inherited that from him, but my brother has a little bit of money, or has a little bit of money in his adulthood, so he got pedicures and all of that type stuff and tried to keep them up. But Shaquille O'Neal, there's no excuse. Shaquille O'Neal, I would estimate, and I know if I look, I probably can find what Shaq's estimated net worth is. Shaquille O'Neal, I'm going to guess, has probably $300 million in the bank. Cash money. I'm going to bet. And I'm probably shortchanging him a little bit. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. But if you didn't see it last night, Shaquille O'Neal took his shoes off. And I guess it was to help in promoting this TV show that they've been promoting the hell out of for the last, seems like 6 months, called Claws with Niecy Nash. And so they got this little back and forth where they talk about giving Shaq a manicure and a pedicure. The show has something to do with manicures and pedicures. They work in a nail shop or whatever. And so they got this back and forth thing. And Shaq took his shoes off last night, man, at halftime of the Cavs-Celtics game 5. He took his feet off, man, and I think that I'm scarred for life. Shaq has the worst feet I've ever seen in my life. As I said, they're crusty. His big toe is slanted to the side, is underneath. Like his big toe seems like it's took refuge under his second toe. From what his big toe is taking refuge from, I don't know. But his big toe is taking refuge under his second toe. All of his toenails. Now, he's an athlete. And I was an athlete, too. I know a lot of athletes, their feet don't look like that. Don't use that as an excuse. And that's what he tried to say. Well, I was an athlete, and I got 28,000 points. That's why my feet look like that. No, man. There's something wrong with your feet. You really just don't even understand it, that you have walking gangrene. All of the man toenails, all of his toenails are black, okay? All of them are black. Once again, that big toe is taking refuge under the second toe for whatever reason. They all curled up and they're crusty. He didn't put any lotion on. Shaq, if you knew you was going to do a commercial, a promotion where you had to take your feet, your shoes off and take your socks off and let the world see your feet, put on just a little bit of lotion. And the bad part about it, man, and I'm going to move on to the sports, but I had to get this out. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. I had to get this out. The bad part about it is the man has, I estimate, $300 million cash. He could get all of that fixed. I don't know how. But $300 million, you can find a podiatrist along with a nail salon and do something about that. Shame, shame, shame on Shaquille O'Neal. Shame on Shaquille O'Neal. Now, I'm sorry. No love. Baylor from Ninjaville in the chat room with Spreaker.com. So Shaq feet look like he walked into the dorm shower without any flip-flops on. Right. Like that man has picked up some type of bacteria or something from summer camp back in 1989. And it's still riding with him. He can't get rid of it. He can use all of the type of different foot fungus little products that they have in the grocery store or whatever, but none of it works. So shame on Shaq, man. And I know his mama was just so disappointed. You know, Shaq and his mama got this good relationship, man. I know his mama was watching on TV and was so disgusted. How could you show somebody, the world? How could you show the world them dogs? Oh, man. I mean, it's unbelievable. And speaking of which, because of what Shaq did last night, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, Shaquille O'Neal has been nominated for boiled peanuts. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. So if you're new to the show, we have this thing every Friday where we call it Boiled Peanuts. You get a Boiled Peanuts Award. It's a long story on how we came up with the name. I don't really want to get into it now, but it goes to the Buster of the Week in sports, entertainment, and beyond. And we actually get nominees all week long, and we have the poll, the voting today, which you can actually go vote. There's a live voting poll on Stewart Media and Entertainment, WSME's chat group on Facebook. So go cast your vote. But here are your nominees for this week's Buster of the Week in sports, entertainment, and beyond. The President of the United States, the Orange Dude, just for breathing. Yeah, and I don't even know what the Orange Dude did, but he did something to be on this list of Buster of the Weeks in sports, entertainment, and beyond. Greg Gianforte, who's the GOP nominee at the time, that an incident happened where he chokeslammed. Shouts out to Tiffany Poodle Sports and Heels. Greg Gianforte, GOP nominee for Congress, body slamming a journalist. And I'm sure you've seen that. This guy was running for an office in Montana. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. He was running for some office in Montana, and he had some type of issue with a reporter. And there's no video of it, but there are witnesses that says that he chokeslammed a journalist. And guess what? The guy still won the damn election. That's the world we're living in here. T-Dub the Stewie for some very disrespectful commentary to your host, Doug Stewart, talking about wasting time or whatever, trying to tell me how to do my damn job. Big Apple Bastard the Stewie, racial slurs in the chat. I don't need no racial slurs in my chat room. Shaquille O'Neal and Charles Barkley about to scrap on live TV over foolishness at the end of the day. We talked a lot about that yesterday. And lastly, Shaq by himself for exposing the world to his nasty, crusty, mangy dogs. His feet. Those are your nominees. Go and vote at Stewart Media and Entertainment, WSME's chat group on Facebook.com. It's actually in the chat group right now. Go and cast your vote, and we'll tell you who was the winner/loser a little bit later today. And quickly before we go to the break, man, we'll get into all of the details when we get back. But it's on. The third time in a row, which I think is the first time in NBA history, I believe I heard somebody say. Third time in a row, you've got the Golden State Warriors and the Cleveland Cavaliers in the NBA Finals as the Cavs handled their business last night and absolutely opening up a can of whoop-ass on the Boston Celtics. We're going to break this game down, talk about everything that went down in the game last night. We'll look ahead to the NBA Finals with the Golden State Warriors once again and the Cleveland Cavaliers. And I'm going to tell you who I like to win the series, man. And I want to hear your thoughts on who's going to win this series. I want to hear what you think about who's going to win this series. It should be great. Now, I don't think it's going to be like any of these playoff series where Golden State and Cleveland have just dominated. I think it's going to be great. Third time in a row they match up against each other. First one obviously going to Golden State. The second one going to Cleveland last year in dramatic fashion. What happens this year? What do they call it? The rubber match? They got the rubber match starting June 1st. And we're going to break it down, get your thoughts. I'm going to read a lot of your chat messages. A lot to get into today on the Doug Stewart Show. Shouts out to my man Kesey with the Kicking It with Kesey show last night. Phenomenal job. Kesey had on a couple of guests. I was listening back and forth between the game and his show. But Kesey had my man BJ Burton on. He also had Shane G, this cat named Shane G, and they did it only like the Kicking It with Kesey show can do it. Very interesting stuff. So today, we don't have any other shows coming up on the network. So it's a perfect time for you to go back and check out Kesey's show from last night because it is posted as a podcast. All right? So check out last night's episode of the Kicking It with Kesey show. When we get back from the break, let's talk about this Cavs Celtics drubbing last night on the Doug Stewart Show. Once again, the number is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. A lot of fun, a lot of keeping it real. Sports talk, guy talk with hot sauce. Texas Pete hot sauce. Back in 3 minutes. Don't go away. Shaq, shame on you. Shame, shame, shame.
Cool kid. I had a dream that I could be without you. Oh, I'm for real and I could even catch you. See without you. Kiss on the beat without you. Oh, be free without you. Back then I woke up right next to you. She's the better lover. I don't think that shit is fair. But she loving on me even when I'm not even aware. I could never understand it. I could never really care. But I really, really need it. I would die if she ain't there. No, I'm not the perfect nigga, but I'm realer than a lie. I couldn't play with you too long, so I went and got a rock. We were never at the bottom, but we closer to the top. And I fuck with you the long way, cause you think I could pop. If I hurt you, don't leave, don't leave, don't leave, don't leave. No, 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 no. If I hurt you, no, 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 no. No, 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 no. Don't you leave. Please, baby, please. Stay here with me. Baby, don't you leave. I need to see your face at least. And if you leave, pray for me. Please, baby, please. Stay here with me. Baby, don't you leave. I need to see your face at least. And if you leave, pray for me. I had a dream that I could be without you. Oh, I'm for real that I could even catch you. See without you. Get something to eat without you. Oh, be free without you. Back then I woke up right next to you. To you. Don't leave.